CIDE is basically a consortium, so you might say it's a network of professional organizations. I think we have about 20 member institutes, and most of our institutes, our members, have a role in the national development of education in their own country. Many work in the domain of curriculum development, they work in the domain of research, sometimes they also work in the domain of assessment. It varies a bit over the countries. That has also to do with the relative position of the institute in the country. Sometimes they are, let's say, a small department within the Ministry of Education. Sometimes they are autonomous bodies, which is a huge amount of personnel. So it varies a lot. But what do have in common? That they all have a national role to play in the quality of education in their country. And the attractive benefit of a consortium is that you can learn from each other. There's a lot of mutual professional learning between the various institutes in many ways. It is very inspiring oftentimes to hear about how colleagues in other countries are addressing more or less comparable challenges in education. How do they tackle their problems? What are their experiences? Sometimes we also learn a lot of what went wrong in other countries. Sometimes it is even more clear where they fall into a certain trap, and you could, oh, wait a minute, that's probably a comparable problem in our country. How can we avoid of falling in the same trap? So you hear a lot of stories. The nice thing about the consortium is also that of course we have electronic networking, we have our website, but CIDE also organize a number of meetings where people can meet in person. At least twice a year. We have, like now, we have this contact person meeting, and we have also the General Assembly, usually in the autumn. So people can meet and sit together, exchange experiences, discuss together joint challenges. So the collegial relationships are improving, and once you know each other from those meetings, afterwards it's also easier to find each other via email or telephone, or to make a direct visit to another member institute. From the Netherlands we have good experiences to bringing visits to other institutes, and all those things contribute to the professional quality of our own work, you might say. Well, first of all, it's good, as we also heard this morning, that there is no uniform approach to that. We have heard interesting variation amongst various European countries this morning. But the bottom line, I think, what we have in common, that it is important to strive after a sort of continuous approach of having a good problem and needs analysis. What is currently existing in the existing system happening that needs improvement, where they want to make steps ahead or change certain things. And if you introduce changes in the curriculum, that you monitor how that is actually happening in implementation in everyday classroom and the experience of teachers and the results of the learners, and trying to learn from that so that you keep improving, polishing on your system. If you do that at a more continuous level, then you can avoid the problem that you sometimes say, well, we need a big revolution, and everything has to change at the same time. Sometimes politicians strive after that, but from experience we know that does not work. All those big educational revolutions, they oftentimes result in just big disasters or just big emptiness. So more continuity in our curriculum improvement, it benefits from more continuous monitoring of what is actually happening.